This is part 9 of the ISO 20022 series. In this session, we are going to understand how SWIFT GPI universal confirmation works in the ISO context. Previously, we had published a video showcasing the universal confirmation, which came up in 2020. So in this, you would have seen how that the various financial institutions during the payment chain have to send the universal confirmation or the MT199 message to the SWIFT GPI tracker. That helps any institute to understand where their messages are and if they are stuck or not, or whether they have been credited to the ultimate beneficiary or not. The MT199 looks like this, wherein you have the unique end-to-end transaction reference number of the EVTR and the status of the message. Various statuses also we had seen in our previous video, wherein the final status can have ACSC, which means the creditor has been credited, or it could have P, which stands for pending, and the various statuses, sub-statuses can tell you what is the reason for why it is pending. RGCT obviously means it is rejected. So this is the final status when it reaches the final institute in the payment chain. Intermediary banks, they send out MT199 to the tracker and they will have intermediate status. Obviously, they will all be pending, but the substatus will tell you as to why it is pending. It could be pending due to docs verification for cover match and so on. The other ways to confirm are you can manually confirm through the basic tracker, logging into the tracker, using API calls to the GPI connector. This is a JSON message, and you can do a bulk upload using a CSV file. Now, these three messages will still exist. However, the MT199 has to be discarded in favor of something which will conform to the XML standard, just like any other message of ISO 20022. Securities. MT199, as we know, are used for various purposes. It is used for universal confirmation, it's used for investigations, and for correspondence. But in the MS equivalent, it is broken down into multiple messages. If you look at the actual tracking request, which is the confirmation sent to the tracker, it is nothing but the trck001. We will see how it looks like. But we should know that it is used for confirmation of PAX 8, PAX 9, and of course the 103 and 202. So it will do for both of them while we are in this period of transition. And later on, obviously, it will be doing only for PAX 8 and 9. So 1 is for sending the report, 2 is to check the request, 3 is to cancel it, 4 is to confirm the cancellation, and 5 is to track the error. So that simple message has been broken down into 5 messages in the TRCK series. The other purpose was investigations. A bank sends an MT199, which is a free format message, to another bank to investigate a particular payment, to check or revalidate an amount or the beneficiary, or maybe it's a spelling mistake and so on. So for that, we have broken up into CAMT 110 and 111, where 110 is for the request and 111 is for the investigation response. Finally, for correspondence, which is just a generic correspondence between two institutes for various purposes, is now replaced with ADMI024 for the correspondence. So one message of MT broken up into multiple MX equivalents. So now the institutes have to send a TRCK001 in lieu of the MT199. Of course, the other ones, which is the API JSON format or the bulk upload or the manual entry to the tracker, will still exist. So how does a TRCK001 looks like? This is a sample snapshot. The most important thing is the end-to-end reference number or the EVTR, the instruction ID, and the most important one, which is going to be the status. In this case, it is ACCP. P stands for pending, and then you will have the payment information, which is the currency, and the payment amount, which is the instructed amount. So being with us, hope this was a useful session. Thank you.